log out and log back
behind
in.
the site.
Sure.
Which might be easier for you to,
Forms on top.
if you have contact, I'll send you his.
Yeah,
There.
you've hit
Okay.
something,
I've been
so
working with them
somehow
about a
you've pushed a
month and
button
it's,
that hides stuff.
I've tripled,
Yeah,
I've
so
written my
now
database
you're
and
still
Really?
there, so log out.
unbelievable, yeah.
Get out of that. And then future, when you wanna log out of something, you might wanna hit the log out button because you're using a website out in Des Moines and for that information to get there,
Yeah.
takes a couple of minutes.
Okay.
So, okay, here you go.
Okay.
So now, if you press on the one that we're working, which is the buyer, I don't know,
Yeah, 5 minutes ago.
and there's your back button, see?
Okay.
So, it was, right, so sometimes when that does that, I just go like, okay, I don't know
And
what's
just
going on, I'm
start
logging
with-
out.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
right, it's the thing hiccups.
Good to know. Okay.
Pardon me?
So what are we just, right there, you have.
She's not in the census summary.
Okay, should I be going back then?
Should be
Or
in
should I
that.
be on, are you on summary? Or are you on documents?
Bob's your
You're on
uncle!
summary? Okay.
But mine looks different.
Here's your purchase contract, finance.
Well, I
These
clicked
are
on
the
my
templates,
box already.
templates.
Oh,
Okay.
Box.
Bob's your
you
uncle's
know how
that.
they have the cards?
Yeah.
I clicked on my
It's kind
card.
of, you've not heard that before? Isn't that cute? I know,
Okay.
it's
So you
like,
have to do
there you have
computer
it.
stuff at your
Bob's
job.
your
You have to do a
uncle.
lot of computer stuff at your job.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I know this is all.
Okay, I've never had such trouble starting the class. No, sorry about that.
Unruly, we're unruly, let's get back.
We're going here, right? Is everybody now got their documents? Okay. All right, so what have we got? When we open up our folder, or it opens up for us, we are in the summary section again, and you can fill out things here, right? So you could put in an MLS number, and we could pull in an MLS. Let's see if we can do that.
Mine doesn't look,
It doesn't look the same, but that's the same form.
is it?
Yeah, what you're missing is the stuff on the side.
Where did you just go?
I'm going into Paragon to pull a listing,
Okay.
and I'm gonna see if pulling in a listing to my,
Oh, here's mine. Where is? Because she made it big. She made my screen big.
Oh, okay, that's why.
I don't know how.
Should we be going into Paragon or no?
no, we don't need to do that.
She did something and just made it fill the screen, which is easy to read.
Then go escape.
Escape.
Oh my god. Just leave it like it.
Yeah.
It's out there.
It's fine.
All right, we are using MLS number 384909. It's listed for $725,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath of 1,040 square feet on a little over a quarter an acre in Makawow.
Can you read that to MLS to us again?
MLS number, write this down, 384909. So I'm gonna go here and go 384909.
Marion, if mine doesn't offer boxes to fill in,
Can you click on it?
should I click on enabled editing
Go
or?
right to your MLS
I
and see
did.
if nothing's there.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Is this a brand new Mac?
Yeah.
New for this class, I mean, it's 2 months,
That's pretty brand new.
but
I have no idea what they've done to make it so, different. So
maybe
this
this'll
seems to
look
be
familiar to you.
an Apple situation,
See,
yeah.
really?
So if you put your cursor
Yeah,
right there, there's nothing there.
Should I go?
Oh,
here?
yeah, because your pencil is
Okay,
there.
okay, got that.
Marion, does it matter that I named the, file a different address? Is it?
I don't care.
Okay,
I'm just trying to see if it'll pull in the, when I hit the save button, will it pull in the, property? So I'm gonna hit save here.
I went to the MLS,
It
the
didn't.
little button next to it that says go to MLS, and I couldn't get it to pull in either.
Okay.
But it gives us an idea.
Where'd you do that?
When
Oh,
you have
right
the,
next to?
right next to it on the right, when it's blank, on my screen, it had a little green choice.
You have to hit your pencil, Marion.
Hit the pencil at the upper, yeah, and then right next to it says MLS arrow. Yeah, and then it's supposed to go and suck stuff in.
There we go.
Did it
I don't want it from, that's the problem, it's, I need to choose Maui from the MLS, it's residential, MLS listing was the number was 384909. 384909, so it makes me fill out this form.
Import, won't import it. It goes to a first name.
Should we do that?
I'm just trying to demonstrate it for you, you don't all have to, cause it'll suck a lot of bandwidth. But this is one, oops, found it, and I'm gonna import it.
So you go to the little blue MLS thing,
You go to,
and you fill out a little small form. And save.
I went to the MLS thing,
Uh-huh.
and up comes this little box. And I made sure I'm in the wrong name. This is HIS in the library. I'm not my MLS is not called HIS.
So you got it.
What's my MLS called?
Ram something.
RAM, that's correct, or Realtors Association of Maui. So I had to choose Maui. I chose residential. This wasn't filled in. I gave it an MLS number, and I said I wanted to include the photo, and then I hit find.
Okay,
I just went right across here, and then I imported it.
import.
And you
Okay.
get the IKEA place,
Should I
is
do
that what it is?
It's Ihea
Thank
Place, 57 Ihea Place.
Thank you.
That's Maui residential.
Mine's doing the same thing.
What is it doing?
The little fields to type in just disappeared.
Go to the
Something just
top,
Go
came
to the
in.
pencil, hit the pencil.
Yeah.
and then do you get boxes?
Yeah, I know, it came back. Sorry.
What's that?
It says, do you wanna replace existing data with imported data?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
just making sure.
yeah, I didn't put anything in yet. Yeah. So, what else can we do here? The next thing we wanna do, I'm not gonna go more into the summary, that's all I really need, and want at this point. So I'm gonna go to parties,
Parties.
people, the parties.
Wait,
Who
wait.
are the parties? Okay, the listing agent is Christine Musto, so it tells me that right there. My escrow officer fills in as Shannon Cortez because we pre-fill our contracts with Shannon Cortez. Are you obligated to use Shannon Cortez?
No.
No, we're just making that recommendation because we have a nice thing going with First Hawaii Title, and would recommend them. And I just used them on a transaction, they were awesome, so, just great. So now, the selling agent, who is the selling agent?
You?
Yes, we are. We are the selling agent. We are not the listing agent. And then there's the selling agent, kind of a hint. There's only 2 agents per transaction, right? So it's kind of weird that we don't, okay, Terry, what's the matter now? What?
Do you need me
Am
to-
I supposed to see
you
selling
can
agent
lift the
somewhere on
chair.
here?
I just
Do
can't
you,
see
did
the
you go to
highlights.
parties?
yeah,
Yes,
you've
I'm
got
on
Christine
parties.
Must.
And do you have Christine Musto?
Yes.
She's the only one.
Okay, and do you have another box?
No, I have one box.
Scroll down.
Are you at all instead of,
I'm at all.
okay.
Should I be on sell side?
No, but at all.
I only have Christine.
Okay, so on service providers, click that.
Services.
Service providers right here. No parties to display. Click here with help for adding parties.
Okay, never mind. And on the buy side,
Would be us.
Right. the buy side would be us. So you can now add buyer 1. Whether you're in all or whether you're in buy side, the person we want to add is our buyer, right? Do you have this list, Terry?
I don't, oh, yes,
Okay,
Yes, there
go to
is.
buyer 1, click buyer 1.
okay, got it.
And now we're gonna fill out, this is buyer 1, it's Betty Buyer. Whoop, first name only, and then down to last name. And then you have to give her an email in order for this to work. So it's bettybuyer@aol.com. That's how I get her. And I am going to save her.
I don't have Christine Musto.
Did you pull the transaction in, the MLS number in?
Yeah, Ihea Place, all that.
okay? And are you on all, or check your cell side, your cell side?
Yeah, she just
Click the
doesn't
cell
come up.
side.
Did you go to this one next?
Sorry.
No, we didn't. Go to all, put on.
I don't have anything on that.
You're not having this problem, right?
No,
How come you're not having it?
I went through zip
I know,
forms
so I still have to be me.
and screwed it all up, so
You're on
now
for
it's
parties. I know, but when I go to parties, only if you come up.
Look up now, she's.
No, I
personalized.
think that's just,
Nothing here.
no, it hit like a white.
This one.
Okay, something's wrong, because it's taking forever to get out of here. Yeah. Go to parties,
No,
there's your
that's me.
selling
Oh,
agent,
the
Shannon,
put that in.
and you have
Agent
the
ID, do you have to have all that stuff? in?
We
MLS.
didn't fill that in.
What?
We didn't go to that
No, I
site.
didn't pull it
Tuck
in.
Agent information.
I don't know what to tell you. So, sell side. No. So now you can click on selling agent and broker. So click on the selling agent and broker. And selling agent and broker is gonna be us. So selling agent is you. And agent ID, I don't know what that is, but my license number, I do know what that is, so you put RS dash and your number, and then your selling broker, the brokerage firm is filled in, the license number is filled in, and now you can put the full name. So I get to put Keone Ball and his email. My email is marion.haller@gmail.com. And we have now filled in the signing brokers for this transaction, or the signing broker, so that's how this is done. They're not separate, they're the same they're the same box. So you can't find this guy, when you look down the list here, there isn't a selling broker separately. It's in this box with the agent. I don't know why they did that, but that's what they did. Okay, so we've got our people identified. If you want to put Christine Musto in, I wouldn't worry about it. You're not going to be sending her signatures out of zip forms. So here's the thing to understand here. We don't set up signatures for the seller and the seller's broker. We send an email with our client's and our broker's signature on the form, an email version to the listing agent and say, hi, here's a wonderful offer. My client loves the property so much and can't wait to make it their home, and we hope you find this offer acceptable. Call if you have any questions, and there's an attachment. And now that agent is going to take that form and upload it into zip forms and email it to their client for signature herself. We do not put the seller and the seller's agent on our signature loops. Does that make sense? We could. For some reason, this market doesn't do that. We don't do that here. Now, could you, if you had prearranged everything, or you've been going back and forth on something and the listing agent says, just send it to my client directly for signature, let's get this done, right? Now you've got their permission to write to them directly and they can expect something from you, but ordinarily we don't write to the other agent's client directly. Okay. All right, that takes us to documents. So here we are in documents, and for this purchase contract, we have a purchase contract, a cooperating brokerage firm separate contract, and a buyer representation contract in case I needed that. I should actually take those out. We have a separate buyer rep agreement template. So if you want to sign a rep agreement with somebody, a buyer's agreement, we have a separate tab for that, so you can pull it in. It doesn't need to be here. Don't worry about it. You can delete it. If you don't need it, you can go here and delete it.
Where would you, should I just keep that there, or where would you
Yeah,
find, okay.
For our test purposes,
Okay.
or we could test deleting. What can we do here?
Do you go to all forms
Look
for
at that,
the
delete. I
standard KW,
I don't have it in the Word document.
oh no, that's HAR.
Do not have yesterday's stuff or old stuff.
For a different buyer's agreement, do we go into all forms or something else? We go to docs on KW.
Like I said, if you wanna just pull a buyer agreement for somebody, I suggest you pull the template. Cause it's filled in, and mostly what I find agents have a difficult time with is the commission, and I filled in the commission. So, okay, Terry, what are your questions?
I don't have it.
She's in documents.
What don't you have?
I don't
It's
have
just
the
a
doc,
different-
I don't have these documents, I have old stuff, old test stuff.
Okay, so you've logged,
Did you say the stuff you put in?
Yeah, and there was nothing to save on the last page. It's still there.
okay, I don't know what to tell you,
I think
maybe
just log out.
share yeah, just literally log out of zip forms. Don't just hit the X, hit the log off button. Okay, we're gonna go to our purchase contract.
Start the process.
All right, so, the first thing on a purchase contract is that, it has a name for your broker. And when you click on that field and you put my name or whoever your assigned broker is, in that field, over time, as you can see here, it remembers stuff. So it's very handy. You're only gonna have to type your broker's name once, and for future transactions, your broker's name will be there in the pull-down menu. So I'm gonna hit Keone Ball, Keller Williams is filled in, and now we have something called the purchase contract reference date. The reference date is today. Now, it's usually the day that we write it. However, maybe I'm not meeting with my clients until Monday to sign this contract. And so the signature is gonna be dated Monday. I don't really like my reference date being that different. Why? Because the reference date is the date by which the contract will be referred forever and ever. I don't understand why they did this, but they did it this way, and so it has no other consequence or meaning other than it's the date by which the contract is referred. So I prefer it to be close to the date that my client signed the offer. So I might date this Monday, right? Just date it ahead. So I might do that. There we go. My address is filled in because we pulled this listing, and it's 57 Ihea Place, Makawao, and it pulled in the tax map number. Look how handy that is. Now, where would we have found this if we hadn't pulled it in? The tax number is right here in a listing.
Mine didn't pull it in, but I can fill it in real quick.
Did it pull the address in?
Uh-huh.
How weird is that? Okay. So, I just want to point out to you again that tax map numbers go by 3 single digits, 2 3-field digits, and 1 4-field digit. So it's 223 033 032 0000 is this property's tax map number.
And those relate to island and area and stuff like
2
that.
is the island, right? This is your Dizzy Pop. This is your district, your zone, your section, your plat, your parcel, and your CPR. And I call that Dizzy Pop in order to remember it. Dizzy Pop, D-Z-S, or is it D-S-Z? Z, which way is
No,
it?
DZS.
DZS, I got it right the first time, okay? See, I doubt myself, so, but that's how I remember those. That's how it fills in. Then notice that there's a bold section. This purchase contract becomes a legally binding contract for the purchase of real estate upon execution by the parties. Read it carefully. Handwritten or typed provisions in this purchase contract shall supersede any printed provisions if there is a conflict. Fill in all blanks. Paragraphs preceded by check-off boxes are optional and must be checked to be made a part of this purchase contract. Write NA if not applicable. So these things here is what we're talking about. You have to check them. So we have to go here and put an X, and we have to go here and put an X if we mean this to apply. And this says that Caldwell Banker, look, it filled it in for me because I pulled the property in, right? Is the seller's representative, and we represent the buyer. We are Keller Williams Realty, and it fills it in for me. It says to put in NA. We've never done that, but you can certainly go here at this point and put NA and NA. All right, top of the next page is, here is our initial earnest money deposit, and we have 3 options to make that payment. The buyer's agent has received a check from the buyer, which shall be deposited with escrow by the next business day after the acceptance date. Or number 2, buyer shall directly deliver a check to escrow by the next business day. Or the third one, buyer shall wire transfer the initial deposit into escrow account within, and we usually say 3 days here. This is the most common, because in particular for out-of-state buyers, obviously, because they're going to go home or they're going to call their bank at home and have them wire transfer. People really like bringing their own check to escrow, so don't ever stop from asking your clients, would you like to bring the check to escrow when we open escrow? Oh yes, I'm happy to do that, right? Because otherwise, what's the option? The option is you write the check now, made out to escrow for the amount, and I hold it. If you're given a check to hold, here's what you do with it. You put it in an envelope, you put your client's name on the envelope, you seal it, and you staple it into the left side of your file folder. You're going to open a file folder for every transaction because you need to carry your contract around with you and the listing printout. And then you're going to print out your timeline, but you're going to want your contract with you. You're going to want to be able to refer to it because, believe it or not, your client's going to call you up at 9 o'clock tonight and say, what did we do? I can't remember. How did we deal with this? And you go, let me check my contract, and you open it up, and you can answer the question quickly. So you want to carry your contract around. So it's either one of these. So we're going to say here, and notice this one lets you give an X. Okay, next is the offer to buy. And what we're saying here is this offer to buy is good if answered by on or before. And so we're giving a deadline. So since we're signing this on Monday, would it be okay? How long do you think you'd give to review a contract to a seller?
48 hours.
Yeah, that's pretty good, right? So let's make it
3 p.m.
Wednesday.
next day.
That's correct, 3 p.m. Because I have learned that I don't want to work. If I make it 5 p.m., I'm guaranteed to be working in the evening. So in order to avoid that, I make it 3 p.m. Now, if I'm submitting the offer at 7 p.m., then I might have to make it 5 p.m. because otherwise I'm really cutting into their time, right? All right, purchase price. So we are making an offer on this $725,000. Let's look at this. What does this little puppy look like? Cute little Chris Musto house. Tin roof. Oh my God.
It's so cute.
It is so cute, but it is so.
Noisy when it rains.
I live in a metal roof house, okay, but look at that view. Jeez. Nice mountain view.
It's rustic and cute.
It's rustic and cute, and it only has oh, there's a bedroom. Okay. And there's another bedroom. And there's something else. A little hard to tell. It's cute. This was built in 1968.
It was rebuilt in '68. There's no way. That was a plantation house. No?
No, look at the outside of it.
It looks very ranch. But the joists in the top? Anyway.
There's that shed. I told you it came in the shed like that.
$100 with the shed.
Yeah, it's like $100,000 shed.
Right.
Exactly.
Because
right.
there are people living there
It's like,
paying,
it's like a penitentiary room.
they're paying $3,000 a month.
This is a 60s house. This is
Isn't
not,
it?
yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like a cinder block house, kind of.
Yeah, it does.
It is,
Yeah.
and the wall was cinder block.
By the way, we don't call them cinder blocks,
Yeah.
we call them hollow tile.
Hollow tile.
No, it's okay. It's just, you're right, that's why I'm bringing it up, because we have to transition the way we think, right, sometimes. We don't call them gullies, we call them gulches, right, or ravines, or whatever, we call them gulches. So, yeah. Anyway, it does look like a cinder block house, and it sure has a metal roof, but it's kind of shocking how unfinished it is.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it doesn't
And
even
how
have
much is it?
plywood underneath the tin. Like, okay, there's an opportunity there.
Opportunity.
And how much is it? I can't read that.
So, how much do we want to offer on this house?
What's it listed for?
Do you like going down
$7.29.
percentage points? Or
Pardon
does-
me?
do you like going down like mathematical percentage point, like 5% off? Or do you just say a number? Just say, let's do 700.
I kind of do a number.
Yeah.
So what's your question, ladies? Share your question.
I was just wanting to know where it was, because we're talking about prices. Okay,
Yeah, Makawao.
okay.
That's
Is
all.
it Makawao, right?
Yeah.
Right, in Makawao. So,
$6.95, I think we offer.
$7.29.
It's hot in that house in the daytime.
this, I don't think so. First of all, my buyer would have to love it for me to let him buy this, because to fix that ceiling, you're talking like $15,000-$20,000 to insulate and put sheetrock and give your, right? I mean, do you really want to live with a bare tin ceiling?
Yeah, it's just a
There's some
glorified.
windows
Hot
out
and
there.
noisy, right? Hot and noisy. I mean, last night my house was noisy. I don't know if you guys had a big rainstorm. We had a big rainstorm. It was
You know,
great.
it didn't rain in my house at all. You're just a block away from me.
I
Drove by your
It
house
dumped
yesterday.
last
You're like,
night.
there's Mary's house.
It dumped, and I'm sitting in the living room. I have to turn up the TV. I can't hear. But I've got a second floor above me, and it's still noisy, right? So I can't even imagine what it would sound like in that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would do a serious CMA on this before I would let my buyer buy this. Chris Musto is very good at staging. She did an adorable job at counseling her client to clean it up. It's all freshly painted white. Notice how well that shows, yeah? No, just get it clean, right? So they did a good job, but the ceiling, I don't know about that.
I
So-
think it looks vacant even. It's just.
Yeah, oh, it's vacant.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's vacant, yeah. So, if we wanted to, like, $675, would you go there? Like, it depends, right? If she's got a lot of activity and does she have other offers? I might even wait a few days.
Look at what else is on sale.
Yeah,
Is this one recently purchased and cleaned up and flipped?
I don't know.
Can't you
Isn't
check
it
the last time it
actually-
was sold? Cause it like if it was
So-
less.
We're getting caught up in this listing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but like then
So
are
here's
can't
how
you
you
figure
see
out
that.
like these people probably
Do you
haven't
know how to
never
look that up?
Yeah.
Okay, this is how you see that. It was last sold, in
2 years ago.
2016, so no.
Not really a flip.
Not really.
For
But it was
$5.21.
bought in 2016 for $521, and now you have to ask yourself, is it really worth $725 since 2016?
Yeah, right.
That's
I don't
pretty
think so.
aggressive.
$200,000.
Unless they put a lot of work into it, you'd have to see what the
Right,
condition
and
was.
now you'd have to see, like, the only thing that it looks, I mean, they painted it clearly, but these floors, they're just
Ugh.
in concrete? What
Yeah.
is
Not
that?
desirable.
It's also single wall construction, yeah?
Yeah.
Does everybody know what that is? Yeah.
I do not.
Okay, so single wall, literally, it is a panel of redwood.
Okay.
That's all it is, and you can tell this because the light box sticks outside. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Because we don't
Okay.
need so much
Okay.
insulation here, a lot of people in the older houses have that single wall.
You could put
You
your-
know.
Oh, I've lived in single wall, that's fine, I'm just saying that's what this is, so this is a really simple house, right?
Nail up a picture and the nail comes on back out outside.
And I wouldn't doubt it if this is just linoleum. Just sheet linoleum, which by the way, is awesome stuff, and I don't know why we don't use it more. Sheet linoleum feels wonderful on your feet. But anyway, but is it worth $725? So since I am the teacher, I get to decide. We're offering $675, I'm not going any higher. So, what kind of an initial earnest money deposit do you think we should make?
10.
10,000? And do you wanna make a second earnest money deposit?
No.
You don't like it enough. Not tell them.
Depends how you wanna communicate. If you make no second deposit, right, that, okay, $10,000 is what you're saying, it's pretty substantial. Another way to do that is 5 and 5.
Yeah.
5 to begin with and 5. And so this person's saying, I'll just give you my 10,000 right up front. Not bad.
And it's not what you want, it's what you think will serve your buyers in getting this house. If
That's
they're
exact-
set- Yeah, so it doesn't matter that I'm TO'd about the roof and I only wanna offer one deposit. Put your buyer in a very good position to purchase.
So the question to your buyer is, how much do you want this house? So if the seller gets another offer for the same amount of money, and one offers $10,000 earnest money deposit, and the other one offers a $5,000 earnest money deposit, which one do you think will be more attractive to the seller?
The 10.
The 10, right? There's something about people put their money where their mouth is, and we feel, hey, this person's serious, this person means it. Yeah. So, along those lines, if you have a little extra money, it would be great to add another $5,000 at your J1 acceptance. So if that's possible, that's what I would recommend. And some people, nope, I don't want to offer any more money. Okay, fine, no problem. Just letting you know, this is the appeal to the seller. So then if we leave this blank, then we have to go over here and take this out. Now, if we were to put $5,000 in here,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
what I want to show you is to use your mouse to move forward, because this is a date field. If you let your cursor go there, it's going to erase the sentence and you put in a date, and you're going to have to rewrite the sentence. So in order to avoid that, you can just put your cursor right there. If you, like I tend to tab through I use the tab button to move around in a contract. If I'm here right now, it's gonna go there. Whoops, look what I just did. So this is what happens. So when this happens, when I get out of this field, it's gonna put the date in. So now I have to quickly write down 2 business days after acceptance of J1 inspection period, okay, just so I know what the sentence is supposed to be, right? And here's how you get out of here. You hit the space bar and it turns it into a alpha field. Any numeric or date field can be changed to an alpha field by hitting the space bar. Yes, sir.
When I put all the data in, mine came where it says total cash funds to 5,000.
And you've got 10,000 and 15.
Exactly
That happened to me before too.
as you did it.